numbers on here. Got it.
Okay, I started it. I should have started at the beginning. Go
All
ahead,
right.
Beth.
So, Brandy, I don't know if you, Antha and Tom, I obviously know, but I am a Lion. I'm the director of philanthropy. That specifically, our team focuses on stewarding lions all over the country, Mexico and Spain, Canada. As a matter of fact, I just got an email from client services. There is a potential client in Montreal and wanted to know if there was a Lions Club up there that could help them with their video that Bill was just referring to that he's helped with before. So my colleague, Lion Mike Dengate, is going to reach out to our Lions in Canada to see if there's somebody up there who can help this person with a recording. So I'll give you guys just sort of a little bit of a heads up of what is going on here on campus right now with Leader Dog, what we've been doing, and a couple of tools, as Bill talked about, online. And Tom, since you can't see what we've got going on, I'll verbally walk you through it. But first off, here on campus, Michigan is slowly opening back up. We are a little bit slow in opening up the campus because we want to be able to bring clients back onto campus for services. They want to be able to bring clients back safely before letting all the rest of us come back onto campus. So those of us that can still work remotely are going to continue to work remotely because the first class is going to be back on campus July 11th. And we're pretty excited because it's been a couple of months. So for this past calendar, well, this past, we could almost call it COVID year, but our past fiscal year, which is the same as Lions, we've been able to have our clients on class, and then we haven't, and then we have, and then we haven't. So a majority of the people that we have served this year, we have done home deliveries, either of guide dogs or of O&M instruction as well, which is the first time we've ever done white cane training off campus. So, and I have to say, how many, Bill, and I forgot to look it back up. I think we've placed 3 leader dogs in North Carolina during this COVID year. So it's actually been a bumper crop of leader dogs going to North Carolina.
Yeah. By the way, Tom, could you mute yourself? You are grabbing the screen, and we're occasionally losing the focus of Lion Beth. Yeah, I believe back in March you delivered a dog, and then I think you said you just had 2 going now, and there may have been more, but that's 3 is what I know of. So yeah. Tom, if you would mute your phone, I think we'll solve that focus problem.
Here, Tom, I just muted you. So when it's time, oh, there you go. So just so you guys know that's how we've been delivering services. And we've even had some pretty great international partnerships because we haven't been able to leave the country, nor has anybody been able to come to us from other countries. So we've had a couple of interactions with CNIB, which is the Canadian National Institute for the Blind. They're in Canada. They are a very large organization, but they have a very small guide dog portion. And they did not have enough dogs at one point. So we met them at the border and gave them some dogs because we had an overabundance of them because we couldn't serve as many people. They also, one of them was actually raised by a collie or a Lake Orion Lion, who I'm a Lake Orion Lion. He's a puppy raiser, and one of his dogs went to Canada. We've also partnered with them to do a home delivery of a leader dog to actually someone who's a lion. Our leader dog chair in Canada, one of them, he and his wife are both guide dog users. And so CNIB actually delivered her dog and trained her. So we've been partnering where we can internationally with other guide dog organizations. So that's been pretty cool. But like I said, July 11th, keep your fingers crossed that we can have an entire class in here. What we are moving to in the future, what we have found out from this pandemic, right now with guide dogs, we have a 4-to-1 instructor ratio to client. So 4 clients for every guide dog instructor when you're here on campus. We're going to be moving that to a ratio of 3-to-1. We found that that's sort of a little bit more of a sweet spot in having time with your trainer and time to work on your own. And we're also moving from 10 classes a year on campus to 13. So our delivery is going to be a little bit different because we'll be able to have more classes, more instructor time. So that's a really good opportunity for us. And we've also been doing a lot virtually. So doing presentations. I know that our outreach services has been working a lot with the agencies for the blind and visually impaired in North Carolina. So that's helping to get the word out that we are an opportunity for people in North Carolina to use our services. That has been hugely instrumental. So we've been doing a lot of pretty cool things virtually. With that, I also want to do a huge shout out because a lot of people clubs haven't been able to fundraise. So virtual fundraising has been really big. And our very own Antha Reed on the call here took our Bark and Brew 5K and did her own spinoff down there. And Antha, did you raise like 1,500? How much did you, 12? I can't hear you. Do you have a, Antha?
She may be muted. Is she muted?
No, she's not muted.
Yeah, they were having a little trouble before, but they can do hand signs. We can see that.
This is when we all need to start. Antha, I can't hear you.
I heard them talking earlier, so
oh, you did?
Yeah. So
hold it up. Are you writing something?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they can hear you. So
what? Oh, $2,000. You raised $2,000.
Wow.
So yes, there's big applause. So what else? 2,000. Oh, 2,000 over. Holy smokes, Antha. Your applause is getting larger. So that's really awesome because Antha is a team of one there. And yeah, and so the Bark and Brew is normally an event that we hold here. It actually doesn't have anything to do with our Lions. It's a third-party event that we hold with a local brewery. And it usually is all day, that there are bands that play and the brewery has food and there are all sorts of booths and stuff that are set up. And we added a 5K element to it a couple of years ago. Well, because of COVID, we couldn't do all that other stuff. So we said, we'll do the 5K. We'll do that so that people start in waves and whatnot. And then some people like Antha said, I'm going to do this virtually, and then completely ran with it. So that couple I was just referring to in Canada, that both have guide dogs from us, they did it as well, and Antha. So out of all of the Lions out there, two of our biggest fundraisers all year were Antha and the Morrises. So bravo for taking that and running with it. That's really exciting. And our third party, Mo, said, y'all want to do it again next year? She's happy to work with you again. So that's a great idea to spread around. We also have, and I know 31L is not on the call, we also have a client down in 31L who is available to go out and do presentations and whatnot. And I will connect you all. Who's 31L, Bill? Who's that leader dog?
Dawson Hart that's the leader dog chair. I've been unable to get any contact information on him, and I've sent his I can't think of his district elect's name right now, but yeah. So
okay. When we do, we will try to connect those two. And does everybody have the connection for the quarterly leader dog chair training? If you can shake your.
Why don't you tell them where it is on the website?
Okay, that's actually, it should have gone out as a Zoom invitation, and Kathleen will send it out. Lion Kathleen on our team will send it out several times.
Okay.
So, and it should be July.
I'll make sure you get the email address. I think you have them. I know you've got them, but I'll just send you a list of all the ones, just so you'll know all the ones in one place from 31 MD31.
Okay, and also another virtual event that's coming up. We are not having any on-campus events this calendar year. So through December, it's too difficult to plan and then unplan, especially when we're talking about summer visits for our first vice district governors. So to be safe and to be the best stewards of the donations that come in, it'll be virtual again this year. So I don't have one. Oh, yes, I do. I'm going to pop off the screen for just a second, so I can show this to you. So, leader dog chairs and first vice district governors and district governor elects, because you guys had to do this virtually last year. We have a new and improved kit for this year. I don't know if everybody can see this box, but Tom, I'll describe it for you. It's probably about 14 inches by, I don't know, 12 inches. And there is a great map on the front of it that are made up of all sorts of people. And then there's some big people in the front. Most of them are wearing Lions vests. One has a leader dog, one has a white cane. It just sort of has all of our logos all the way around it. It says "Together We Serve" on the back. It's got the Lions logo. So all of everybody, vice district governors and leader dog chairs will get invited to this again this year. We're going to do it in 3 weeks. So each week is an hour that you log in, just like last year. There are going to be 3 envelopes in the box, and one is Retriever Week, one's Labrador Week, one's Golden Retriever Week, and one is German Shepherd Week. So you won't know which one to open until you get to that week. And the agenda from last year, every year we always think we have nailed it down. Every year we love it, and then every year we change it. So even if you were on it last year, it's going to be different this year.
So do the leader dog chairs, is that district, the state, or what? And
Yes.
I didn't get an invitation last year. Of course, I've been there before and done that.
You
But,
did. Well, I'll make sure you get one this year.
well, I would like to make sure everyone has the opportunity because, even though we've been it before, if you just assume that you know everything, it turns out you don't. So I'd like to,
Yes.
and also it makes you think of being taken for granted. And we wouldn't want that.
No, we don't want that. So actually, Bill, if you can make sure that we have all the leadership from all the districts, that would be fantastic.
I'll get you all the district governor elects and all the chairs. I'll get that too. The email address, I'm assuming you won't.
Yeah, we need the first vice district governor elects.
Oh, not the DGEs, the first.
Yeah, I mean, DGEs are more than welcome to come.
Yeah.
But it's usually a first vice district governor.
Okay.
Like I said, it's virtual this year. If somebody missed it or really wants on, let me know. We'll invite them. And we just have to be able to get their kits out to them in time. So that's pretty exciting. We're really excited about putting that together. And then the last thing I'm going to show y'all is I'm going to share my screen. Just some of the resources. We've been trying to update the website. And here we go.
Yeah, I'm just really so impressed, and also it's accessible. That's another thing for people with screen readers. It's accessible. So many times you get people who are trying to help folks with blind or low vision, and their websites aren't accessible.
Well, we try. Bill, if you ever run across something that's not, let us know.
Yeah, I have, in fact.
Thank you. Because sometimes, there are a lot of things about virtual or anything like this, you don't know until someone tells you. So this is a leaderdog.org. I think most of y'all who are on here are familiar with it. There is a tab about 2/3 of the way across in the center that is just specifically for Lions clubs, and it says Lions clubs. And if you click on it, it has drop downs, and these haven't changed yet. The first tab is called Lions and Leader Dog. This is the entire history of Lions and Leader Dog together, how we were founded, how we started partnering together, how we still partner together. And they're changing some things around. So giving opportunities, the next one down are going to be all of the resources like founders tributes and bricks and all the forms that go with them. You guys are probably pretty familiar with that. One other new option, if people are doing online donations or clubs or individuals, there will be on our forms, we're starting to upload all of them. There's an opportunity for clubs or for individuals to click that they are a Lion. If they would like their donation to be what we call soft credited to their club or their district, they can put that information in there. Sometimes people will do donations online and they want it to go towards their club, but unless we happen to catch it, we won't know that they're a Lion. So this is just kind of helping us along. The biggest changes is on the third drop down, which is resources. And I'll click on this one. There's a picture of one of our clients hugging his dog. And it scrolls down, it talks about what our mission is, what we stand for and why we matter. There's a great little sort of cartoony video that we all love about being an ambassador. I always say once I give a presentation, you are now all ambassadors of Leader Dog. Sally forth and spread the word. This is something you can download. Underneath here are some buttons that are new underneath that video. Over on the left, there is the Leader Dog Ambassador Guide. That's just kind of a great, you can download that. It's sort of a great pocket guide for an elevator speech, just sort of everything at a glance. I've just updated, we've changed how we do this. Next to that, there is a PowerPoint for a presentation. And I just updated this, and I'm going to click on it. So this is a presentation. It actually has notes underneath, so you know what to say. If you have the opportunity to present and you can use a PowerPoint, be it on Zoom, be it live, however you want to do it. This is a great way to be able to do a 15-minute presentation. And what you have to say on every slide is in the notes right underneath it. With that said, and I've updated that. With that said, I'm going to close it. If you don't have PowerPoint or don't use it, right underneath it, there's a button that says Overview Talking Points. Every note that was in that PowerPoint slide is right here in this Word document. So if you prefer to, just stand up and give a presentation without that, you can, everything is just scripted out for you right here. It gives a little bit of our history, who we serve, and how our Lions can become involved. So for those who want it on large print, you can also download this and make it larger. This is a working Word document. So those are two resources that are right there. And the third button, the one furthest over on the right, is Lions monthly newsletters. I'm going to be honest, it's a bit of a misnomer. They're not quite monthly, but if you click on it, it'll take you right to a blank page. Here we are. It'll take you right to some PDFs, and each one is called Lions Newsletter, and then it'll tell you the month that it came out in. And the newest one is actually from March and April. The July, August one is forthcoming. If you click on it, it's just a PDF. It's 1 or 2 pages of things for our Lions. You can share these with your clubs. You can email them out. You can send them to your newsletter editors, and they can just drop them in like a flyer. So we keep those. This one was what it takes to become a GDMI, which is a guide dog mobility instructor. So whenever your newsletter editors send out a call for articles, feel free to grab that, drop it in there, and give that to them. So those are some bits that are on here. And another tab that should be up very soon is also the quarterly reports. So we have quarterly reports and quarterly updates. The quarterly reports are when Lion Kathy sends out all of the spreadsheets of all of the, donations that have come in for that quarter. And to go along with that, we now have a document that is more of a report if you want to give that to your district governors. If they're having a quarterly meeting and you need to give a Leader Dog report, we're kind of making them standardized so you can see what states we've served, who we've served, what programs, how many so far up to date of the people that we have served, and then any kind of bulletins that are interesting for Lions to know of what's going on. So scrolling down, there's still more videos that you can download or share. And then also I'm scrolling down a little bit further on that page. This is now where the button for order event materials are. It also clicks back to giving opportunities. You'll see the button here for club reports. That's another way to get to those quarterly donation reports. And there's also request a speaker. We're going to keep the request that it's either live or virtual because that's kind of helpful. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, just some Leader Dog fast facts. if you just want to click on those for your own knowledge, there's even more information in there. So we sometimes get very excited to teach everybody about the trees when really everybody just wants to hear about the forest. So if you want to go in deeper into any of these topics and you don't see something, let me know. But that's just some things that are on the resource button. I'm scrolling back up to the top. Again, Lions Club, down to resources of some changes that we've put on there. Any questions? That was a lot of words that I just threw out there.
Yeah, no, that was great. Can you take them real quick to the page on your video education, that new program you started?
Yeah.
Because that's got some tabs of specific interest, I think that, and they might, in fact, one of the things we'll discuss a little bit later is how to do these videos on Zoom. We'll talk about, that's a future meeting of our group, but
Yeah.
could you take us there real quick?
I can. So where you have the option of the Lions Club tab, just to the right of that is resources. And
Virtual Learning Center. I
yep.
think
And if you drop that down, there's Be an Ambassador, People Who Are Blind, Agencies, Request a Speaker, and Virtual Learning. So if you click on Virtual Learning, we've learned so much this year of how to do stuff. This is a really cool tool going forward. So this is Leslie Hoskins. There's a picture of a video here. Leslie, she is a certified orientation and mobility specialist. So she has a degree in teaching people how to travel safely and independently with a white cane. She has come over and is our manager of outreach services. So she works with the Department of Blind and Visually Impaired in North Carolina, every other state, lighthouses, any kind of organization that is there to benefit people who are blind or visually impaired. So Leslie partners with them. I'm going to scroll down. There are 4 tabs that you can go on to. One is for prospective clients. If you know of someone who may be able to utilize our services, that is the area that they want to click on. For graduates, such as Bill, there's a whole nother section just for graduates. There is a section for family and friends. Bill Dale can probably attest to this, that when you're the family member or the friends who are waiting for your person to come home from training, what is it that you need to know? You know, how is this going to affect your life? Now living with somebody or knowing somebody who has more independent travel. So this is a section for them. And then we have a section for blind rehabilitation professionals, people who, like Leslie, who are COMS, certified orientation and mobility specialists. What do they need to know? How can we partner with them? So these are 4 areas that if you click on it, I'll click on prospective clients. There are all sorts of little tiny tutorials in there. What is O&M, which is orientation and mobility? Guide dog readiness. What do I need to know? Do I want to get a guide dog? Client testimonials. There's a campus tour, which you guys can also use too. Accessible pedestrian signals, which are crosswalks. Programs and services, FAQs. And when is it time to consider using a white cane? So a lot of resources for people, we'll call them stakeholders, that you might not think about. This is just some place that you can
Beth,
point.
can I throw a comment in here?
Yep,
so these are good videos. You frequently get a question when we talk about O&M a lot, and you know, you can explain it, but this is a real good video, explains it also, and that's very important. In fact, that's a basic fundamental skill that you have to have, and that explains it mainly for people who might need it, or people, you know, you might be dealing with. What do you mean O&M, why you need it, etc. Another one, that one on pedestrian crossings. So that's really important too. If you want to try to travel independently, you need to know about accessible pedestrian signals, and for a couple of reasons. One is, if you don't know what they are or what they can do, you know, you don't know how to utilize that to get you across the street safely. So these are some good courses. I mean, I've been to 2 O&M classes. One was 6 weeks long, you know, blind rehab center, and one was a full week course up there. And these are good courses. So
Yeah. And these are also kind of fun if you ever wanted to do, let's say I always say use the list that we have of all of the club donations. And that's a really good segue to call a club up and say, hey, thanks for your donation. Would your club like a 15-minute presentation on Leader Dogs for the Blind? And then when they say, we know all that we need to know about Leader Dog, say, well, how about a little quick campus tour? Or how about, we can educate your Lions on what is an accessible pedestrian signal and how is it that you cross a street when you can't see? Those are kind of fun little sidebars that clubs, you're not just hearing about, well, we do this every year and we do that. It might be some pretty interesting tidbits on there. So feel free to say, hey, maybe your club doesn't know what O&M is, right? A white cane is a tool, just like a guide dog is. How do you use the two of them? If you ever want to throw that out, that we have different topics, we can always jump on and Zoom a presentation or get you set up so that you know what you're talking about, or even just share the links. So those are some pretty good. And of course, as always, if you ever run across someone who could possibly use our services, have them call our client services here, and let them talk to our client services. Is what we offer something that is helpful for them? Is it a good match? Do we offer what they need? So always feel free to give us a call.
Right.
Or an organization.
So Beth, go to resources.
Yes.
And do a drop down.
Yes.
And let's see, I was trying to figure out, I thought that was one. I was going to show them a picture of Gibson. It's under there somewhere.
You're all over the place. Let me see. Where are you? No, but I think that was where did you and Gibson go? I don't want to get anybody screen sick.
It was about the that looks almost like Gibson. There's one about anyway, no, enough of that. I thought it was under the about, but anyway, it's a cute picture of Gibson.
Gibson is one of our, the picture of Bill, and isn't that so funny? I usually have it all over the place. I use it ad nauseum. There you are.
See it right there, yeah.
This is one of my favorite pictures. Tom, the picture I'm showing is a picture of Bill sitting on the bench during warm weather training. And he's sitting on a bench that happens to say honor, which is really important when you're a Marine. And Gibson is stretched out and he's petting him.
Yeah. He's got his nose almost on the camera lens.
I use this picture all the time. I just love it. As a matter of fact, I hate to say it, but I think this is up in some of the restrooms around campus, and Bill is a poster child in the ladies' restroom. So sorry to say that, Bill, but it's true. So you're on the history of Lions.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, and Bill's wearing a Lions hat.
Yeah. Yeah, I wore it all the time. Wore a vest many times, but I think I had.
And that's how all the staff remembers you as well.
Well, all right. Well, is that about what we got there, Beth?
That's all I got.
Okay, so we literally could go on hours, and I'll just we'll go ahead and close that out, and we'll sort of get back in. And if you'd make sure everybody's unmuted, I'd appreciate it too. Beth, if you need to go, I'd love to have you here because some questions are liable to come up.
I'm here.
So I'm yours. So anyway, but I am going to progress on because the next thing, and it would be really great if you could stay for this section too. I will mention something because we're not going to get as long as far as I'd hoped to today because it was just important to stuff we've been doing. But I hope to have these at least quarterly, and some of the things we'll discuss is like some Zoom meeting training. How do you go about showing these presentations? You may know, you may not, but as a district chair, you've got some resources, but if you know how to say, play one of the videos for a group, that will help you. So we'll have some training on that. Also, we'll take specific areas about from the page, which we probably need to, we're not new to it, but like what is guide dog training, what is O&M training, and what are the different programs and how do you apply for them, et cetera. And that will sort of lead into the service, because we can provide service for clients that want to go to Leader Dog. And then also we may, if you want to hold a district meeting with your Leader Dog chairs and the clubs, Zoom is a great way to do that. So I just kind of close out the Zoom, as Beth said, we want to get meeting back face to face, but Zoom is still a good tool because Beth can travel a little bit, and she has been down there. We've been blessed. She's been down, I know, at least I think the 2 state conventions that I've attended, maybe one, I'm not sure.
You throw barbecue out there and I'm coming.
And but Zoom is going to be a good tool for us, and I personally am going to have to rely on it more than most. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to do, is everybody on Zoom unmuted?
Randy and Tom are not. Randy, I got your message with First Vice District Governor Joe. Thank you.
Okay, so unmute Tom if you would, and Randy can just unmute himself if he wants to do it. But
looks like we're good.
So I want to start off, and I'm going to start off with Tom. Now, this portion of the what I really want to do is, I was hoping we'd have at least, well, I'm one of them, so I guess I'll get to talk to it. I was hoping we'd have the 4th Bill. Shoot, I can't think of his name.
Dawson Hart.
No, it's Dawson Hart. The other one's Bill somebody. I've got it. I'm just not going to worry about it. Anyway, so what I'd like now is to hear from the district chairs to see what sort of your vision is for your district and what you think is what we ought to do as a state in support of Leader Dogs. And so, Tom, I thought we'd hear from you first, and then if we get Anthem, we will. If we can't, we'll be missing it, but I'm hoping we can. So, Tom, go ahead. Oh, did Tom leave us?
We lost Tom.
He did. Well, I guess just the mere thought of that must have. No, Tom and I have actually had. Tom is, as you know, well, everybody knows, was the state chair. In fact, he's the one that sort of really initiated that position. And so I've communicated well with Tom, but I wanted everybody else to hear his thoughts too. So Tom's approach was sort of as a state chair when he was state chair, and that's not what I didn't want him to talk about. He went out and he actually visited all the districts. And I mean, if you go from Wilmington to Asheville, that's a far piece. I want to tell you, that's 6-7 hours drive, maybe more. But anyway, I was hoping maybe Tom will come back in. But Antha, or do you have your mic fixed, and you could kind of give us a few thoughts on what you might have for your district, and also what you think about the state?
We can't hear.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I heard something. So looks like it's going to be me and you talking, Beth. So
Randy, you better start chiming up.
So I'll tell you what. Oh, hey, Randy, you got a few words for us?
I was just going to say, I was curious with the other districts. Our district monetary goal for guide Leader Dog is $1 per member. And I was wondering if that was consistent with the other districts. So if you ever had a chance, Bill, to bring that up with the other ones, could you find out, are we too low? I know we're not.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Randy, I can tell you that I know that there are still some districts like in Texas that I know of. Some clubs that do still have it's somewhere in their bylaws by district that there's $2 for Leader Dog per member per year. Some do that, and some shoot it right out of the water. It all depends on what their level of interest is.
Yeah, but by and large, in North Carolina, we have what we call district governor goals, and they usually assign around $1 per member. But many clubs, and we're going to be talking about this with the district chairs, but many clubs Tom's club, for instance, I mean, they give $5,000 to $10,000 sometimes to leader dogs. They have some stride events, etc. So it's good. You give $1, but then you miss that opportunity. There's clubs that can really achieve, but many of them do. And I like your idea of taking the ones that have really done that and working with them. But I wish Tom was here and I wish Anthony could speak, but I think most of them do have that. Now, there's a real problem with that. And that problem is this: we've experienced in our district is normally the district governor sends one check to leader dog and does not break it out by club. And that breaks a vital link for leader dog, because now leader dog does not have that direct communications back to the club where they can send them a patch or, make sure they there's nothing wrong with the clubs going straight to leader dog. That's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, our job as district chairs is sort of be cheerleaders and resource, places to give information and that. So we're not trying to stand between the clubs. It's not a hierarchy like they got to go up, but by and large, like the multiple District 18 Georgia, they did not have a set amount. They did ask that each club give to at least 4 organizations, and Leader Dog was one of those, and they recommended that. And the club I had, we used to give, I think, $250 a year, whereas typically in our club it's $30 because we got 30 members. So that's a good in a way, and that's not so good in a way. So because it really discourages. Go ahead,
Now,
Beth.
what some do, and I think you do this, some leader dog chairs or district governor or district treasurers will send in a check, but they will actually have a breakdown of what each club gave. Tennessee doesn't. And so we have to divide it by all the clubs in that district, and it does take out. So every club every year, if they give a donation of $100 or more, they get a dog bone patch for their banner. We won't know if a club gave $5,000 or if they gave $2. So that's kind of, it's not always so great because we can't recognize them the way that they actually earned it. So that's just an idea. Now, I had this from a Kentucky club. So North Carolina has had in the history 242 leader dogs. By today's standards of about $46,000 a dog, North Carolina has been given $11.14 million worth of services for free.
Yeah.
That went over really big in Kentucky. But I told them that it's a pretty good return on investment if everybody just gives $1. That's not so bad because we don't bill anybody for our services, right? So it all depends on how you throw it out there. And you could do the same for any other of your projects too. Once Lions realize this is really the investment that projects give to our areas, it kind of puts it in a different light. So that's pretty cool. And that's $11 million that we did not bill our clients.
Well, and you can't monetize it either because
oh, hold on just a second. Antha, hold it up just a bit. We're still collecting tabs from cans. We pay $1.50 a member from our district governor's goals.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it ends that way also. And I don't know about L&I's. I think the district governor goals is something like Georgia didn't do that. Texas does it. And the minority of the states do it. Most of the clubs just send directly to leader dog versus going through a district. And like I said, it does cut a pretty vital link. So yeah. But I really think our focus is going to be to encourage each club to participate that, because not every club, you can have a district goal, club can do what they want to, but then we'll also encourage clubs to get involved in these special events. I really like that. I think we might have some microbreweries here in Raleigh. So maybe I like that brew and dog or whatever that was. Ark and brew. Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to Antha about that, because that's one I wouldn't mind. Except I want to have a physical as well as a virtual aspect to it, because you gotta check out the brewskis when you're barking. But anyway, so yeah, we are not downplaying the financial aspect. We're going to have that, but I feel like the education and service are foundational, so we can say, here's what the fundraising is doing. So yeah.
It comes back to you in spades. So, and that's why we all chip in to do this together. Because if we didn't do it together.
Yeah. So let me move on to a couple of other things. And then, because I was really hoping, and if Antha has any more, does she know how to do text messages? Because, she could just, or use the chat function. She's doing
it like the Pilgrims used to do. She's holding up the note.
Yeah, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, you communicate whichever way you can. Let me get on. One thing I don't know that we'll get by the way, my span of attention runs about an hour. So we'll stop at an hour simply because, I've got the control of the thing and my span of attention runs out about that time. But one of the things I would like, and I'll call Tom and I'll try to contact the other two leader dog chairs, is I would really like for us to get I'd like it to be monthly, but at least quarterly, a leader dog article in our district newsletters. And I've drafted one up, although if I'm gonna have to look at the web page, because when I looked, January was the last newsletter that I saw. But I have got a newsletter that I have drafted, which basically took year-to-date statistics, and it told the number of dogs, number of O&M training and all that stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's almost double now. So I don't know if I'm going to use that or wait till your July 1st and publish it then. But I also put the mission, that one of those pages that Beth showed us had a really good thing about, here's our mission, and there were just some bullet things, and that's always good to let people know. So I'm really encouraging everyone to do that, and for people who don't have time or don't want to type those things in, using that, I can go on and get one of those PDFs and send it to you, and then you can just send that to your district newsletter. But I would like for each district to rep to do a newsletter article. I talked to Paranita is the lady that does ours, and I've got to June the 30th. So I'm right after this meeting, I'll be sending my newsletter in, and I'll be in touch with everyone, all the districts, to encourage them to do it. Maybe give them a couple of samples. One I did, and maybe that latest one that you showed. Well, I don't know if being a guide dog specialist would be of interest. I may have to pick another one. So that's of interest to me. In fact, my grandson's going to be taking American Sign Language in high school as one of his courses. So
is he really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about.
We have a deaf-blind program, and he can be a guide dog mobility instructor for deaf-blind. We're always looking.
Yeah, now he's 14, so he's got a little ways to go before he worries about a job. But I was can't think of the lady that was my instructor when I went to guide dog, but she was a certified American Sign Language person. In fact, it's really
Jenny
so funny.
Sanderson?
Huh?
Jenny Sanderson?
No, it was shoot. It was one that was in shoot, I can't think of the name. It's in Florida on the West Coast. Anyway, I got her name somewhere, but she would talk, and she'd be talking out loud and using her doing sign language all at the same time. But anyway, so yeah. And so I tell you what, rather than try to get into the goals, because we only got 9 minutes left, and I guess I think everybody here knows you. I don't know if DGE Randy had mentioned before, but we all do. So I'm just going to let you few closing remarks, and then I think we'll cut it off. I do have this recorded, so at least if we get those other two guys, they can see this. And then our next meeting, I think we're going to focus on how to use Zoom, make sure you can use it, and then maybe look at setting up some Zoom meeting, maybe a statewide Zoom meeting for club chairs or whatever, kind of like we did, last year in September, where we had a conference of. You remember that? You did a great job. If you did not, I've got a recording.
We did a statewide for Virginia, and we did a statewide for MD22, which is Delaware, DC, and Maryland. And we actually had a client speaker come on, and we did it as a whole presentation. And we
Well,
opened it up to all the members across the state,
well,
all the
yeah.
Lions Club members.
Yeah. Well, I want to see what the districts want to do. I'm just sort of cheerleading. Of course, I'm cheerleading myself too, because I'm one of them. So closing remarks, Beth, and then I think I'm going to, I'm really sorry Tom got left, and I'm really sorry Antha had the problem with her speaker, but she did a great job with that chalkboard, didn't she? Kind of like if she was into scuba diving. That's where you do a scuba dive. What did she say?
Yeah.
She set up
She's
another.
still collecting tabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just in closing, just one other thing that is especially Bill and Antha, I know you guys, I don't know if you've heard or not, are very special. She usually sits right over my shoulder. Lion Kathy Gilchrist is leaving Leader Dog after 14 years.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to try not to cry.
Oh.
Antha, don't you cry, because then I'll cry, and then we're all going to cry.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope it's
So it's for good. It's for good. It's okay. It's all right. But you guys are, Kathy always talks about, she has a very small telephone booth of people that she really likes. She's quite honest about that. Y'all are in that telephone booth. So she is, I don't know if you've known this, but she has been working to recertify and has certified and is a massage therapist as well. And so we're making all sorts of changes, not a whole lot of changes, but a couple. And she said, you know what? I really want to focus on doing this full time. She is actually very much a healer. And so this is actually really going into what she's always wanted to do. So if you have, once you digest that, if you want to send up a card or an email that you want me to share with her, we're going to be doing a small farewell party. And we can certainly share.
Okay, I'll do that this weekend by the end of the week too. Yeah, because Kathy's been great, and I mean, she's helped me a lot in a lot of different ways. So yeah.
Kathy has helped all of us in a lot of different ways, professionally and personally, and she's one of my favorite people. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Because we're really gonna miss her.
I can tell you don't like it, but yeah, people move. Yeah,
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm on a 12-step program to get through it. So, but I wanted to let you guys know that. But what I do want to say is to thank all three of you, and 4 and 5 and 6 and the others that aren't on there. Oh, what does it say? Lift up. Where is she going? Well, I can tell you this, you're not switching nonprofits that you support, Antha. She's not going anywhere. She's going to be doing massage therapy. Oh, when is she going? I'm sorry, when? She will be July 9th is her last day. So she's helping us to close out the Lions fiscal year. Oh, Antha, stop. Don't get. So on that happy note, but I want to thank you guys. Really, I mean, we couldn't do all of this without you guys.
We're all family.
So thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to give anybody that can talk. Beth and I've done a lot of anybody that can talk or write. Want to say anything finally before we terminate this thing, and thank everyone for attending, especially District Governor-elect Randy. I appreciate all the support you've given me, both district and as of the state chair, and we really appreciate it. So any closing remarks before we close it out? And I'm going to try to have at least quarterly and maybe this. I'm not going to try to get you in every time because I know you were really busy, Beth, and I appreciate you taking the time. So is this your office or your home?
This is my, Lord, Antha, I can't. I'm actually at the office today.
Okay. I was wondering if you had a drop ceiling in your home. I had one in a basement one time. So.
No, but I did put new windows in my office, the room that we were never going to do anything in.
There you go. Okay. Anything before we close it out? Well, okay. Thank everyone for attending. I really appreciate it. I hope we'll have a super line year 2021-22, and I just can't say enough about the good things that the Leader Dog's doing, and I really believe in them. And been there twice so far, the O&M and for a leader dog, and it's a fantastic. I've been to other guide dog schools too, and I'll tell you, leader dog's top notch. I wasn't two-timing you guys. I went to the other one first. It's a VA blind rehab center.
Bill, it's not it's a collaboration. It's not a competition. It's a collaboration.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
We got 1.3 million people to serve out there. We can't do it all.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank everybody again, and I'll be in touch. And I do have this recording. I do have I can put it on Google, or I can put it on YouTube. It'll be better if I put it on YouTube, and then I can delete it, I guess. So, but I'll be doing that. I assume everybody gives me permission to do that. Okay. There you go.
Except for me and Antha crying, but I'll
Okay. All right. Well, goodbye. And I'm going to stop the recording here.